Well, I don't know what happened with my intro there, but that was a bit of a balls up for our live. Anyway, welcome to Friday's wonderful banter with Debbie. I always look forward to this, Debbie, and we've had another mad week.
Oh, it's great. It's just madness day. Do you know what? I was talking to someone yesterday. I know I'm getting on in years a bit, but I actually wake up in the morning and I genuinely can't remember what day of the week it is. I'm thinking, where are we? What's going on? So much is happening. You kind of just lose track of time completely.
It's insane. I always think maybe next Friday I'll struggle to find something to talk about.
What was it? We have to tell anybody that's watching, and thank you if you are, because I think it was you said we've got enough news for 5 hours, and I think we probably have. And it's knowing, I know there's a lot of things that we will have to miss out, but we are aware of so much more because it's just information. Well, the World Economic Forum said they were going to do this. It was going to be an information cascade. They're going to throw everything at you all at once so that you get completely confused and you can't follow one thing because a million other things are happening in the other direction.
That's exactly why they do it. It's exactly that. So we're all confused. We're all confused, but
we're not. We see through you, WEF. We see through you. What's going on?
Exactly. Afternoon, Raoul.
Hi, Raoul.
It's been okay. Let's get it started because we're just going to have to crack on because there's absolutely loads. Okay, so digital ID. So well, that says everything. So Keir Starmer, who announced a compulsory, mandatory digital ID back in September, has now done a U-turn. I think it's Labour's 13th U-turn or something, I believe, something like that. Anyway, and we'll just rattle through this because, well, we're going to have to because there's loads to talk about. Let's play this clip first.
We've got some other breaking news tonight, and this is from Westminster involving the UK government and their plans for digital ID cards. John Craig, our chief political correspondent, is with us. John, I remember not that long ago, sat on this very chair announcing that the government are going to bring in digital ID cards, mandatory for all workers. Has this now been ditched?
Looks like it. It was September. The Prime Minister made a big speech at a conference of progressives, and where he talked tough in that speech. There, he said that you will not be able to work in the UK if you don't have a digital ID. It's as simple as that. The scheme would make it tougher to work illegally in this country, making our borders more secure. Now, he was selling it as a crackdown on illegal immigration. He said that a secure border and controlled migration are reasonable demands. And he said that it'll make it tougher to work illegally, make our borders more secure. And he talked about benefits and so on. But now, a U-turn, although the government says it's still committed to the concept of ID cards. Now, the spokesman has told Sky News, we're committed to mandatory digital right to work checks. Not quite the same thing. We've always been clear. Details on the digital ID scheme will be set out following a full public consultation, which will be launched shortly. Well, not sure the Prime Minister was talking about that last September. And then the government still says digital ID will make everyday lives easier for people, ensuring public services are more personal, joined up and effective, while also remaining inclusive. Yes.
Do we know why? Why the U-turn?
Two reasons. One, a lot of public opposition. A petition to Parliament has attracted more than 3 million signatures. Political parties like the Lib Dems, the Tories, dead the post to it. You may remember, perhaps you're too young, we've been here before.
I do know.
The Blair government. Yeah. I mean, Tony Blair was a big fan of ID cards. And of course, I remember, Kwasi, you may remember this. I think you seem to remember David Cameron and Nick Clegg teaming up on this pre the 2010 election. And then the coalition government dumped them straight away. And there's fears, really, that the system simply won't work. It would deter older people for getting back into work, something that the government wants. And I think there's a real realization that it's going to be a bureaucratic exercise that perhaps won't achieve those objectives that the Prime Minister was talking about back in September.
So Are we ditching digital ID, Debbie?
Are we heck? Are we heck? I think what he's going to do, I predict, is he's going to throw away the little Brit card that he kept talking about, the Brit card. And I mean, digital ID, everybody's talking about digital ID. People, what they should be talking about is biometric data, because it's two different things, right? So digital people think, oh no, we haven't got to carry a digital ID card now. No, but you're still going to, the banks, the NHS, and anybody else that wants are going to want your fingerprints, your palm prints, your iris prints, and everything else. So that is all digital ID. So no, I'm sorry, I don't believe you, Keir. You're still rolling it in. It's going to be rolled in through other methods, in other guises, and you're just trying to fob us off. That's my thoughts.
Yeah, absolutely. The fact is, the digital ID is a full infrastructure. It isn't anything to do with this so-called Brit card, and yet they're still going to require a digital right to work anyway. It's happening. It's been happening for ages. I remember having a chat to you a while ago when I was looking at doing Just Eat, just to make some money, and the biometric system's already in place for that.
Exactly.
So it's already there, and people are already using it. There's no U-turn.
No, it's exactly
There's
right.
no
And this is
U-turn.
it. It's biometric data. You know, you have to use biometric data now for so many things. I spoke to a friend the other day who uses a card reader on the bank. These little card readers, they're pathetic. But now they hated the card reader, but now being told, oh yes, we agree the card reader's rubbish. So therefore we're rolling in biometric data for everybody. Now every single bank is rolling in biometric data. The NHS will require your biometric data through your NHS app. All of these apps are app traps, and digital ID, it's not going anywhere. It's here already. We've got it, but just people aren't seeing it as a line. You know, 1 minute it's not, and the next minute no, they're just rolling it in.
Yeah.
Very, very, yeah. There you go. There's Rouse said nationwide are going to roll out biometrics, and of course every single other bank will follow through. And then, you know, what are you going to do when you want your money out of your bank? Are you going to be prepared? This is why we say people are going to have different different lines that they wish to cross. So if suddenly, for example, the banks bail in, and you've got maybe, I don't know, say for argument's sake, £10,000 in the bank, and they're going to say to you, you can't have that money unless you give your biometric data. And in the meantime, we've converted that money into crypto. So if you want it, it's in crypto, but you have to give your biometric data to access it. And that is digital ID. It's a digital prison.
And they've been doing the biometrics with crypto for quite a while. They've been doing the KYC, they call it, know your customer. If anybody's got a crypto account, if you like, a wallet and things like that, generally you would have probably handed your biometrics. And obviously the UK government are closing in, I should say, on crypto, where they want to tax it, because people have been making a lot of money out of it. And so they want to get the grips on that as well and make money on that. But Rachel Reeves, sorry.
There are websites though, and there are websites. I've got a friend who tried to buy a MacBook from Apple, from the Apple website, and unless they gave facial identification, they weren't allowed to buy anything.
And what happens if your fingerprints are stolen? It's true. In India, there was a hacker that managed to steal God knows how many fingerprints. And what, you can't change your fingerprints, and you can't change your eyes. So once those have been stolen, big problem. It's centralized systems like this it's a recipe for the biggest disaster going. I mean, Rachel Reeves was on what is it? She's on BBC Breakfast the other day. Let's play Rachel Reeves. She's a good
Rachel from Accounts.
Rachel from Accounts, yeah, she's one of my big heroes, Rachel from Accounts. But she pretty much admits that it's going nowhere. It's just the way they word this thing, isn't it? Let's play Rachel.
But I want to be really clear. To work in the UK, you've got to be able to prove digitally that you can work in the UK. But we do want to crack down on the illegal smuggling of people into the UK. And this is one way to help tackle that problem.
But it is different from the announcement that we first heard from the Prime Minister. I just want to read you a post that Sir Keir Starmer wrote back in 2020. Hopefully we can show these words to you. He said, Boris Johnson and his government has lurched from crisis to crisis and U-turn to U-turn. To correct one error, even two might make sense. But when they have notched up 12 U-turns and rising, the only conclusion is serial incompetence.
Well, I don't think most people mind whether it is one piece of digital ID or a form of digital ID that can be verified. The point is we're trying to address the problem, and the question is how to do that. And
we're also
if you
talking
work
about
in Britain,
all
you've got
these
to be able to
changes.
prove
Sure.
that you can work in Britain. And I'd say the other thing, John.
We talked about the digital ID, and you've explained about that. But I think it's about all these changes, all these U-turns on economic policy and other areas that Sally just listed. And I think members of the public, your own backbenchers, are not convinced that you as a government, that you and the Prime Minister have a grip on policy generally, because you keep changing your mind on all kinds of things.
Well, the key thing is where you're trying to go. Our government, this government, our focus is on growing the economy and improving living standards for working people. 6 cuts in interest rates, with Bank of England interest rate now at 3.75%, reducing mortgage costs for ordinary families, bringing down inflation with £150 off energy bills from April, freezing rail fares and prescription charges.
Oh, shut up, Rachel. What a
Oh,
load of
you
rubbish.
know, you kind of zone out, don't you, when you
Yeah,
listen when you listen to her? It's absolutely mad.
They talk some shit, don't they? I'm not being
Brain
funny.
dead.
And she looks like she's frightened to death every time I see her being interviewed. It's like she's trying to figure out what to say next. It's like, oh my God, I'm going to have to lie somehow and get my way out of this one. You know, they're just inept. But I mean, to be honest with you, since 1974, since I've been born, I've never known a good government, to be honest with you.
No, I mean, they're all the same, aren't they? They're all corrupt. We've got
all the same.
I'm sure we'll talk a little bit about reform.
Oh, you'll have a big
they're
reform.
all they literally are all the same. And I think very, very deeply too that no politics at the moment. There is nowhere. People are politically homeless, and I think some people are also. They're finding their tribe with media as well, with the news, on who they can trust, where the reputable news and where the real news is coming from, and where they're being distracted to something else. I mean, we were talking about it last week, weren't we? With the whole country was distracted with Storm Goretti, and there was all hell kicking off in Iran and Ukraine and Kiev and all around the world, and even in this country, that we were missing because we're not hearing from the right sources.
No, well, they don't want you to hear from the right sources. They've got to spin everybody. It's like we said before about being confused. It's perfect to just keep spinning loads of nonsense, and people don't know if they're coming and going, do they?
No.
I mean, digital ID isn't going anywhere. This infrastructure has been built for years, physically and digitally, for years and years and years.
It is going somewhere. We've got it. And that's what people need to realize, is that when people say we've done a U-turn, they haven't done a U-turn.
No.
They've done an S-bend. So what they're going to do is manipulate that idea. All they're doing, what they do is they throw out the extreme. We are going to provide digital mandatory ID. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. And they watch for the reaction and they think, okay, fine. So now we've got our compromise. Now we can actually roll in what we wanted to roll in, because now they think that we've rolled back on it. They do it every time. It's like making an offer for a house, isn't it? You may be offered 10,000 lower than the asking price, and then you find your balance. And that's all they've done. It's still here, folks. We have to still talk about digital ID because it's still here.
It's absolutely still here. Please don't celebrate. When Rupert Lowe's posting things out there saying, we've done it, we've won.
No,
I'm sorry, even the Together Foundation, we've won, we've done this, we've won nothing. We haven't won anything.
No, we've been deceived again. We've been deceived. You're being scammed. You're being thrown a narrative from the government. Who believes the government? Honestly, all I want to do is just go out and say to people, are you cheesed off with the government? Yes or no? Because most people are. This is deceit. Why would people believe what the government has got to say? Even when they say, oh, we've got it wrong, we're going to go back. It's rubbish. It's rubbish. They're just going to roll it out with a different disguise. That's all. It's here. It's here to stay.
It's absolutely, it's here, and it's going to get more strong. So we as a population really that see what's going on, this is the time to push back even more, not to sit back and think and celebrate and get your fireworks out and your party poppers that when there's no digital ID going to be happening. We're already using it.
There's so many things going on in the world right now. Nobody should be celebrating anything, because nothing is as it seems. I say to everybody, question everyone, question everything. Believe nothing unless you have 100% cast iron evidence to support what you're saying, because everything's like craziness.
It is. It is craziness. And digital ID moves us into the next topic, which is one that we discussed, we opened discussion on last week, and that's Starmer's attack with X, Elon Musk and Grok. So a year ago, I think it was Starmer that basically said that Britain will be one of the great AI superpowers, and he even said he'd work with Elon Musk himself. I think in his own words, we will work with anybody in this sector, whether it's Elon Musk or anybody else. And now he's threatening to ban it. He's got Ofcom involved. And let's get into it, So, I mean, Elon Musk has retorted, obviously, and he's called the UK fascist and restricting free speech. And he's also quoted to saying real fascism is arresting thousands of people for social media posts. It's an interesting debate, is it not?
Very interesting debate. What I'm seeing is Trump's so labile, isn't he? One minute he's got Musk as his best mate and he's in the Oval Office and he's got his baseball cap on, and the next minute they've had a bit of a tiff and it's all made public and they're dirty laundry. And then all of a sudden now Trump is now threatening Starmer and saying, you cannot do this in your country. As Trump's weighing in on Elon's side. And of course, Elon has a lot of control, because if, like in Iran at the moment, there's no internet, there's no communication. So they're relying on Elon Musk's Starlink.
Yeah.
So he's a very powerful man. And there's a lot of politics that are surrounding Elon Musk and the capability of his organizations, who everyone seems to be relying on. So we'll see. I mean, I would have thought that Starmer was a little bit punch drunk now from little knocks that Trump's given him along the way, either ignoring him at the podium or saying something to him or threatening him or saying the UK is a totalitarian state, making all of these allegations and talking about the UK, because of course he's half British, but then I think Elon Musk is half or part British or got British heritage. I spoke to his father, Errol Musk, not too long ago. That was an interesting experience. But yeah, Trump's going to weigh in now. Let's see what Starmer does and how he reacts to that.
So
but let's go back to the online. What they're creating, what Grok is creating, which is inappropriate images, which I mean, but that's AI, isn't it? It'll create anything you want. So how is this ever been in the best interests of children? This online safety, it's all rubbish.
Well, it's interesting that. So I had a bit of a test this morning. So I went to ChatGPT and I said to it, right, okay, so all this thing that's going on with Grok, can you create an image? So I don't want you to create it, but can you create a celebrity or a politician in bikinis? Can you do it? And this is what it told me. I can share my screen actually, and you can see a bit of the transcript because I copied it. Bear with me. Okay, so it basically said no. So ChatGPT will not create sexualized or suggestive images of real identifiable people. Blah blah blah. This applies regardless of political affiliation. Blah blah blah. So basically, what it's saying is Grok was created in a free speech kind of way, whereas a lot of these AI platforms have been designed so you can't do certain things because it's a program, it's a computer program. I use Photoshop, and it does not allow me to create, using the AI side of it, a known person. It will not create it at all. It's just a program. ChatGPT will. If I ask it to do an image of Starmer, it will create it, but it's been programmed not to do the sexualization of stuff. Grok was a bit different because he wanted it to be a freedom of expression, a freedom of speech. Now, was this done on purpose, knowing what people are like? You know, that you would take advantage. Oh, you can throw somebody in a bikini, so this is funny, and I find it funny because it's my sense of humor. So people are sharing it around, but then it opens up this avenue of, well, if you're going to be doing this kind of stuff, well, we can't have this. How about you're going to need digital ID to use this platform from now on? If you want to use X, because this is where it'll lead to, social media. If you want to be on your social media, you're going to need your digital ID.
If you want to be on the internet, you're going to need your digital ID. You're not going to even be allowed access onto a server if you haven't got your digital ID. I mean, you know, the whole thing with this whole Grok and ChatGTP and this whole online harms bill. I mean, you know, it's all very well banning porn, banning this, banning that. But then, as I told you last week, I listened to this trailer. I can't remember what the program's called, but it's Dawn French in it. I've Got a Secret or something it's called. It's a new BBC, you know, prime time situation comedy like Dawn French does. And they're talking about anuses and petrol nozzles. And they're putting both together, which you don't do, right? And they're laughing about it. Now, you know, in my day, I was brought up with all sorts of different programs that they would absolutely hate. Love Thy Neighbour and the Black and White Minstrel Show and all of these things that we wouldn't see now.
Alf Garnett.
Alf Garnett, Till Death Us Do Part. So it's it's all double standards. So the BBC are quite happy to put out that, and yet ban porn. And I mean, I think it should be subscription only, away from kids, obviously. I mean, in our day, I'm sorry, but kids find their way around every single system. In my day, if anybody wanted to get porn, they'd have to get it from the top shelf of a newsagent, and you'd have to get somebody very tall to go in there to get it if anybody wanted it. That's the way it happened. But kids found a way around it.
I always did.
Exactly. Kids find a way around everything. So to say all of this is online and all the rest of it, and then go into Grok, which is at the end of the day artificial, which means it's fake. Yeah. It's all fake, and we have to get away from fake synthetic biology, synthetic living, and all of this artificial intelligence. We have to get away from fake. But I think Elon Musk, I think this is going to cause a row. I think if Keir Starmer's going to end up with sanctions again.
I saw that. Yeah, I saw that as well. It's all orchestrated for me. That's my opinion. You know, it's Punch and Judy show. There's always pantomime, and it's good cop, bad cop, all that. It's the usual stuff. And you'll have people. No, don't get me wrong. Anything where it involves children that needs dealing with, that's unacceptable. Do you know what I mean? It's like the comedy of this of the UK. Like we've had this discussion in the past, like Little Britain, when Matt Lucas coming out and apologising for what he did during the makings of Little Britain. Well, I'm sorry. For me, I found Little Britain hilarious, but that's my sense of humour. That's my sense of humour.
But that's comedy.
It's comedy. You know, don't apologise for it's an art form. Comedy is an art form.
It's British. British. Everybody says, you know, oh, it's the Brits' sense of humour, and they're right. We do have possibly a slightly different sense of humour to a lot of other people from other countries. I know that relatives of mine in America, you know, they can't understand why I crack up laughing at things. You know, they don't find, and I similarly can't understand their humour either. So it's a very British thing, and our humour is being destroyed, and that is integral to who we are. We're sovereign beings. We're sovereign to this country, and we have our culture, and our culture includes humour.
What happens,
just
Debbie,
does.
what happens if somebody draws a picture of Keir Starmer in a bikini and then posts it online? Does that get banned?
No. It'll be sent around as a meme all over the place, and it'll
Of
go
course it will.
viral.
But what's the difference between that then to AI generating a picture of Keir Starmer in a bikini?
Exactly.
Because all it is that they're miffed off at the moment because they're humiliated because MPs are getting thrown into bikinis. I find it
Exactly.
funny. I find
it funny.
But
I
obviously,
find it funny. I mean, there's an awful lot of things that I find funny at the moment. Like, very quickly, the latest conspiracy theory. And I mean, I've got so many tin hats, I don't know what to do with them. Some of them are on the floor, a lot of them have fallen off my head. But the latest conspiracy, apparently, that's going viral is that on the 12th of August, for 7 seconds, we're going to lose gravity, so everything's going to float.
I
And
look forward to
people,
that.
but no, but the thing is, people were actually straight online going, "Oh, well, we need to buy rope. We need to buy chains." 'Cause they want to chain themselves to the bed.
We better get a load of
themselves-
toilet roll quickly.
But yeah, I mean, there's so much fake stuff going around. I mean, you can create anything online now, anything.
We should do
And
a
the thing
live
is-
when this 7-second thing happens. See, we start floating.
Well, I can. I mean, they're saying it's not apparently the floating is only going to be for about a second, but it's coming down that everybody's worrying about, because they say I'm not personally buying into this theory. However, other people are saying that there's going to be tsunamis, the oceans are going to get displaced, streets literally are going to raise off the ground. So I don't know, but I mean, I think you just have to be as discerning as you can and join the dots and see that quite clearly digital ID is being rolled in. Quite clearly, there is a fuss being made about Grok, and this is for political reasons, and it's going to cause political chaos because it's going to become a global issue, and Elon Musk is going to be in the center of things again. I don't see an end to it yet.
I don't either, but I think if we just play a couple of clips, because I think it was Liz Kendall that came out on the 9th of January the other day, and what I'm seeing here is this we're MPs and we're going to deal with this. You know, it's almost like the teacher with the pupil. You know, well, we're gonna deal with this kind of situation. I don't know if you've seen this clip. Let's bring Liz on.
So, how long will you give X to make sure that you can't make controversial or obscene images behind a paywall? How long is the government going to give X to stop that?
Well, I expect Ofcom to take its next steps in days, not weeks. The government is crystal clear. We want those images taken down. They are despicable, they are abhorrent, and we will ensure that the full force of the powers of the law that we have given Ofcom, we want to see those used.
Are there any steps that could be, well, outline some of those steps. What can Ofcom do? Just explain to people what are the measures and powers available to Ofcom that would bring this to an end.
They can investigate the service, they can issue enforcement action, and if that enforcement action is not complied with, they can fine the platform £18 million or 10% of their worldwide revenue, whichever is greater. But there are also powers in the Online Safety Act which enable Ofcom to block those services being made available to people in the UK. And as I said, we would want to ensure Ofcom uses the full range of powers that it has. But we as a government are taking additional action because we are determined to ensure women and girls are as safe online as we want them to be safe in the real world.
Is she a robot? Oh, is she a head teacher? Who is she? Do you know what? I think that's one of the scariest. We first of all, we've had Rachel from accounts. Now you've shown me Liz Kendall, which she looks absolutely evil. I mean, why don't we just have Yvette Cooper next, and then you've got the whole trio? I mean, what was all that about? I'm going to do this, and if they are not compliant, it's like, are you a robot?
That almost like was scripted stuff anyway. Like they've asked her a question, but she's kind of memorized those
angry.
lines, and she's like,
I am in charge and I will make sure this happens and I will assert my authority. I mean, honestly, does she realize how ridiculous she looks? Seriously.
I don't think she does. No, I don't think she
These
does.
people have absolutely no self-awareness at all. I mean, that is that if that isn't dictatorial, I don't know what is. Seriously.
Exactly. But and they, it's almost like this is how they're treating us as well. You
They
know,
are.
as children. This is the problem now with MPs for me. It's like this is you need to behave in this way. It's like being back at school.
Yeah, but the thing is, these MPs, the minute these all new, fresh-faced, newly elected MPs, the minute they walk into the Palace of Westminster, it's like a magic spell's been cast over them, and all of a sudden they're powerful. All of a sudden they've got to be loud and bossy. I mean, I'm not saying all of them, but I would say 99% of them. There's no humility. There's no compassion. There's just no self-awareness at all. So I don't know what it is when these MPs walk through the doors of Westminster, but the minute they do, they seem to have had a complete control personality change.
They do because it's an act, isn't it? Everyone is an actor on this stage, and we all go into roles and become a different version of ourselves to perform in a certain way, don't we? And you can see it with the teacher. You get them at home and they're generally a different person than they would be when they're in the classroom in front of a bunch of kids. These MPs are just like teachers.
Yeah.
They behave that way and treat us like children. And it's embarrassing.
Oh, yeah. But they treat us like naughty, stupid children. I mean, I don't know if you've noticed, I mean, the NHS put out these videos and they're childlike, you know, they're little cartoon characters and it's in a very childlike music, childlike language.
Yeah.
And you know, they want you to, of course, all of it's in your best interest and keep you safe. But they do, of course, they treat us like children, but we're naughty children. They have to sit us, even if we're not naughty children, they want us to be naughty children. And that if we're not naughty, they'll make us naughty. They'll put us on the naughty step anyway. In fact, if we're not naughty, they'll blame us for something that we've done. If we are naughty and someone's in prison, they'll get released. But if we're not doing anything, we'll be the ones that get banged up.
I know.
That's how it's working.
But also, though, Debbie, a lot of these people, from watching them and listening to them, they're not very bright either. You know, it's like they treat us like kids, but I don't see anything about them. No leadership skills. There's nothing inspiring. They're just
empty.
Yeah, and everything they do is rubbish, causing crap everywhere for everybody. Why would we be inspired to listen to any of this lot? And that goes to the Tories. That goes to the Tories as well, and any other government. Like I said before, they're all the same.
They're all going to go. They're all going to go, and we're going to get citizen assemblies. And it's all going to be about the citizens. So the MPs, I mean, they've always been the turkeys at Christmas. The MPs that want to hang about and still remain powerful, they'll end up in the Lords, only they'll have a shock because the Lords are going to go. The Lords Chamber of the Palace of Westminster is set to go. And so MPs will be in one chamber, and then you'll have the Citizens Chamber, a Citizens Council on the other chamber. So the whole structure of Parliament and what we've grown up with is about to go. I mean, I didn't know. I was only looking up last night because my son and I were talking about it. But it was 1928, you know, the first general election with men and women. 1928. That's not that long ago, if you think about it.
Not at all.
And now I think we've come to the end of those days. We've come politics, for me, parties, left and right. I hear all this, oh, you're right, you're an ethno-nationalist, you're a Christian nationalist, you're a fascist, you're a this, you're a that. Actually, I turn around now and say to people, actually, you know what? I'm English. And that's where I leave it, because I think now we're trying to divide everybody, including parliamentarians, MPs, trying to divide everybody. And you're getting leaders of parties that have their own TV shows, Nigel Farage. You're getting politicians having their own TV shows. Jacob Rees-Mogg even when he was a minister. So, you know, we've gotten to the point where we can't listen to any of them. We literally can't listen to any of them. We have to discern who we trust.
Well, I know you've got a new hero in Liz. So I want you to listen to Liz again.
Oh, I thought you were going to show me Yvette then.
No, listen to Liz.
The Data Act
Oh no.
passed last year made it a criminal offence to create or request the creation of non-consensual intimate
I'm
images.
not hearing her. Are
Today,
you?
I can announce to the House that
I'm not
this
hearing her sound.
brought into force this week. And that I will make it a
don't know if anybody
priority
else is hearing
offence
the
in the
sound, but I'm
Online
not.
Safety Act too. This means individuals are committing a criminal offence.
Let me just ask if anybody on the live stream can hear Liz, because Debbie can't hear. If you can, then please let us know in the comment box. You can't hear anything at all? Sound is good, sadly, Sarah said. It is sadly.
It's just me then. Oh, what a shame. I think that must have been done purposely, so I didn't hear her voice again. Sorry, I
Well,
couldn't hear
maybe.
her.
I'll send it on WhatsApp. You can have a watch.
Oh, thanks. I knew you wouldn't escape. I won't watch it before I go to sleep. I'll have nightmares.
Basically, she's going all teacher again, and she's just basically saying that users could be arrested if they use Grok to create non-consensual intimate images. That's basically what she's saying. So obviously she's threatening the public as well as Grok and Musk and X getting threatened. It's the general public as well. So we're all in trouble if we send, you know, a few of these politicians around in bikinis. Not that that's a good idea at all, obviously.
Oh, the world's gone mad.
It's gone mad.
We can talk about some more mad stuff later, perhaps. You are still alive, aren't you?
Only Joss. Oh yeah. Oh, yeah, we'll definitely talk about that in a minute.
We'll
yeah,
definitely talk about
we'll talk about that one in a minute. Okay, so let's move on to the World Economic Forum then, Debbie. So we've got that happening.
Yeah, next week. They're all off to Davos to have a little, they'll not be skiing. Apparently, do you know, there's a lot that goes on in Davos, not just the WEF. There's a lot of ladies that are employed in Davos. They all fly to Davos and they all have private rooms and they're all there to entertain the guests. But we have a star going this year. We have Trump attending.
Oh, let's have a look at. No, not to, you know, obviously there's a lot of people that love Donald and he's going to be a hero. Maybe we should just trust the plan. I don't know. What do you think, Debbie? You know, he is going to be leading the largest ever US delegation. And China are going to be there.
China, they're all going to be there. It makes me laugh, doesn't it? I thought China and America were meant to be kind of a loggerheads, and yet you've got the Wuhan laboratory, an American military laboratory in China. But yeah, Donald Trump's going. It's going to bring in so many people apparently because he's the star. He's going to take some of his cabinet. Zelensky. I'm wondering, I'm going to be watching out for Princesses Eugenie and Princess Beatrice because they're often at WEF. Often there is somebody from the royal family at WEF. So this year they're going to be including, it's a really big thing, a push for AI, for agentic agents, AI agents, which I'm going to be talking more about, and also they're going to create this massive power grid that it's like super electrification. So they're going to push forward on especially AI, but apparently it's going to be massive. So yeah, they're all going to be there next week, surrounded by snow and a lot of money.
And it says there that Starmer, don't know can they confirm if Starmer's going to be there, but Starmer was quoted, I think back in, I don't know when it was 2023, I think it was something like that, that someone asked him, you know, what would you choose between Davos or Westminster, and he chose Davos.
Well, we always say it's Westminster, don't we now? It's not Westminster. He's in charge of Westminster. And of course, let's not forget Keir Starmer. He's also, oh, what's the name of it that he's a part of? It'll come to me in a minute.
Trilateral.
The Trilateral Commission. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's part of the Trilateral Commission. I mean, he's in it up to his ears. He's got to be the worst prime minister this country has ever seen. I mean, he's just dictatorial, and from the polls I've seen, he's like right down the bottom.
Well, you said one part right, dictatorial, but there's part of that word that was, you know, the first bit. He's definitely one of them. So
yeah.
Let's see what there's a video, isn't there? What to expect?
Oh, what to expect at Davos 2026. Have a look at this.
Did you see, Debbie? Look at the amount of likes that 33.
33, what a symbolic number, eh? But did you also notice they said super tech stands for supervisory. So that's where we're coming into agentic AI. So you're going to get an agent, I'm going to get an agent, and those agents, they're not here to help us. Like, we're going to order your mum's, we know what your mum wants. We've spoken to your mum's AI agent. We know what your mum wants for Christmas, and don't worry, we'll take care of it. No, this is a supervisory AI agent. So it'll be a spy that's watching you, what you spend, how much you spend, where you spend it, who you give your money to. Have you got enough social credits in order to access your money? This is going to be the spy that oversees you. And this is what they're talking about next week at Davos.
Can't wait. I'm sure we'll have something to talk about next Friday about all that when some of the reports come through.
I'm sure.
Right. Well, reform. Are they the answer, Debbie?
Do I look as though I've got a mouthful of bees or hornets?
So this week they brought in the former Chancellor Nadhim Zahawi is defected. I have to laugh.
Because he didn't get a lordship. He didn't get his own way, and he was like stamping his feet. But I mean, he's got quite a history because he was one of the co-founders of YouGov, and of course he was responsible for the vaccine rollout and the whole COVID thing. I mean, honestly, this man is absolutely just the same as the rest, only worse. You know, we all look back and we see Matt Hancock, and we remember Boris Johnson, and we remember what went on. Let's not forget what Nadhim Zahawi did. He was absolutely instrumental in the whole COVID agenda.
Absolutely.
The whole COVID agenda. And the fact now too is the Reform have taken on they've as a nomination for London Mayor, I think. I can't remember her name, but she's Muslim. Mm-hmm. So Reform are just, what are they doing? Just grabbing the Tories, grabbing anybody basically that they can get, while Nigel Farage is very busy giving out his 1 hour programme on GB News. I've never known a political leader have their own television show. So I'm afraid reform for me is a
Let's listen to him.
Oh dear.
Here today to tell you all, and of course the British people, that Britain needs reform. Britain needs Nigel Farage as Prime Minister. I know this may come as a surprise to my old party and to many Westminster watchers, but it really shouldn't. And it certainly won't come as a shock to the tens of millions of hard-working, patriotic, decent people up and down our wonderful United Kingdom, from the Highlands of Scotland to the bottom of Cornwall, from rural Wales to the beating heart of London. We can all see that our beautiful, ancient, kind, magical island story has reached a dark and dangerous chapter. Things may feel like they're ticking along just fine within a few square miles of where we stand today. I'm here today to tell you.
Do you believe him, Debbie?
No. No. Who does he think he is? Churchill? I mean, honestly, for goodness sake, this man, I was just trying to find reference. Where was he born? Where was he brought up? Is he
no
British
idea.
born and bred?
I'd have to look into that. Don't know.
I'm not quite sure, because when he's talking about our beautiful country, I'm kind of like, but no, of course. And what did he say? He said, we need Farage as our Prime Minister. No, we don't. No, we absolutely 100,000,000% don't. Sorry, folks, but as you can see, I'm quite passionate about this. We really don't need Nigel Farage as our Prime Minister.
Farage was tricked by someone. Did you see that? Just speaking of Farage.
Yeah, I did. Have you got it? I didn't see it, but I heard about it.
I'm just going to pull up a Guardian article. I've got the video somewhere, and maybe I'll be able to find it before the show ends. But let's just pull this up, because for those that don't know, he was basically, I think this guy offered him a bit of money to do a video for him as like a message, but the message was for Ian Watkins, who obviously died recently in jail. He was a sex offender, and the video actually goes on about, yes, for this is for Ian Watkins, who loved his children, and this, and honestly, so he's been tricked. So I don't know what he's been paid to do it and do this cameo video. Here he is, like a good man, a really good guy who loved his children, and he pretended to know Watkins, whose victims included a baby boy, and he was very much in contact with me. I mean, the guy's a liar and a disgrace.
I mean, I just don't know what to say, because clearly he's just a mouthpiece. He probably was just given the money, given a script and told what to read, did no research, did no due diligence on who he was talking. See, this is something that I do and you do. We do our research and we do our due diligence. And if we think that something is off and it's not right and it doesn't feel comfortable with our moral compasses, then we step back from it, right? But these people, they get a bit of money. It's all money. They get a bit of money and they'll say anything. They'll do anything. Yeah, it's completely soulless. And I see this happening with the media as well. Some media, they take the money and they just spout out whatever they're told to do. And that's exactly what Farage did. Well, I'm sorry, but he got his comeuppance there. He really did get his comeuppance there. It was like when Sarah Ferguson, she started chatting. She got caught out when by an undercover reporter who set her up, and she started talking about the money that she was getting in and selling Andrew for money and stuff. These people, they don't seem to have any self-awareness, and yet they've been in a public position and in the public eye for a long, long time. So are they not looking around them and being savvy? Never trust someone who looks like toe-to-toe tall. Absolutely spot on, Lou. Spot on. I totally agree. He is a toad.
Do you mind if I just throw him under the bus a little bit?
No, please carry on.
Right, I just want to play this because this was a press conference the other day with Zahawi, and I'm just going to throw him under the bus.
Hello, Tony Dodd from the Telegraph. Mr. Zahawi, on this point about COVID vaccines, I hear the point about free speech, but the doctor previously mentioned told Reform's conference that the vaccines that you rolled out may have caused the King's cancer. And he was described by David Bull as someone who worked with him to write Reform's health policy. So do you reject those views? And if they have shaped Reform's health policy, will you try to change it?
I think you'll find David Bull actually spoke about vaccines on Friday night at our event that we held down at the Excel Centre with just shy of 3,000 people launching our London campaign. And I think you'll find, if you look at what Dr. David Bull, our chairman, said, how proud he was of the work actually for centuries that London had done and led the way in with vaccines. And as Nadeem said previously, you know, we get all sorts of speakers from all over the world, some of whom have different opinions.
Can I just come in, Tony?
Please.
I expected more from you, right? That was a really stupid question, right? And it doesn't even deserve an answer. So try again next time.
Right, Deb.
Oh, and anyone wants to vote for this pair? Seriously, isn't that enough to put anybody off anyone voting for that pair of nutcases?
Well, let's have a look at what. Let's remind ourselves a little bit of what Farage said about the vaccines back then. You know, because I think we need to be reminded.
There seems to be an alarming number of people, young men in particular, who've developed myocarditis and other heart conditions. I'm not getting conspiratorial about this, but let's have it out in the open. But I want to know as well why we were lied to. I want to know why they were trying to vaccinate kids.
Right, so we were saying this shortly afterwards. This is him trying to worm his way back into the voters thing, okay? But before all that, he had a pop at Zahawi, and he had another opinion on the vaccine. So let's just throw him. I'm sorry for doing this for those who support Farage, but we need to show these people as they are, the liars.
If ever there was a moment to call for a government of all the talents, much as I don't like Tony Blair, he does get things done. He does command respect. He is seriously bright. Why not get people like Tony Blair involved to help us solve a national crisis? We have absolutely got to up the pace of vaccinations. Otherwise, I fear for so many millions of men and women running their own businesses. I fear there. If ever there was a moment to call for a government,
you know, so they'll just jump from one thing to the other to try and get a bloody vote. These people, they're
He's a second-hand car salesman. He's a wide boy. We'd have called him a wide boy in my day. He talks the talk. He's honestly, how can anybody vote for somebody like that? Seriously, I mean, I'm sorry for anybody that's watching that's a fan of his, but really, we need vaccinating.
Begins to sum it up. It's been obvious for nearly a week that Zahawi would be fired, and sure enough, 9 o'clock Sunday morning, finally Sunak does it. Doesn't say much about Zahawi's affairs. I mean, hey, you know, if you're Chancellor of the Exchequer and you have to pay money to the taxman, it's not a good look. But it says even more about Sunak's leadership. The man, I've got to tell you, he is not a leader. Not that I think actually Keir Starmer is either. One thing for certain, the Tories are not fit to govern. This episode proves.
So he's not fit to Paula, disgusting. He's not fit to govern, but he's fit to help govern reform. Is that right? Is that what he said?
That's what he said.
He's not fit for this. He's going to throw him under the bus, and now they're busy mates.
They're busy mates now. They're going to. So for me, reform is the arse cracking between the two cheeks.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. Yeah. I mean, that the whole thing makes me what we would say in my industry in nursing makes me feel a little vomitus erupticus. That's what we would say. A little sick. You see these people, and you just think, how people are going to go out and they're going to vote for that man in their droves. That's what's the scary thing. And then when people say to me, well, the public going to fall for it again? Yes, because of people like Farage and Zahawi.
But this is the thing when you've got a mainstream media that pushes a load of nonsense, and unfortunately a large alternative media, may I say, that's also backing the wrong people as well. None of these people are on our side, Debbie.
No, and I mean, there's going to be more to come about that. So for people that are watching and
Exactly, Paula.
wondering about alternative media and who they listen to and how you can to discern, more to come on that, because people are telling lies. It's that simple. And you know, I don't feel any shame in saying that. People are lying. You are being lied to. Full stop. Anything that the government tell you, you need to question. They're saying no to digital ID. Really? No. Anything they say is not what it is. They're
I agree.
liars. Politicians are liars.
Born liars. Born.
Yeah. I mean,
And-
who would want to? That they have this ambition to do the good for the people, to represent the country, and they take an oath. Remember, when they go into that Palace of Westminster, they take an oath. Who are they taking an oath to? Who are the police working for? The Crown, not the people. It's the Crown.
Chinese app. What's the most popular Chinese app, Debbie?
Are you dead, Anne? That is the most highly selling popular app in China.
China.
Yes, because there are so many young people living alone, and young people travel and they go away for a while. So now they're signing up to this app, and every 2 days they get a message with, "Are you dead?" And they have to respond to it, because if they don't respond to it, then someone will come out and find them. It's just surveillance. So they say, "Oh, you know, we don't want you to die alone. We don't want you to die unnoticed. And your family might worry about you. So the state are now going to look after you, so you don't have to die alone. And if you do, you'll be taken care of because you won't have responded to the text, which will mean that you're dead."
I'm Luna. I've been inactive for multiple consecutive days. Come check my physical condition.
Honestly, and you know, the company Moonscape Technologies, it's always in the name, isn't it? But this is real. You know, this isn't a conspiracy. This is real stuff. A Chinese app, the biggest selling Chinese app, Are You Dead? And soon, you know, it'll be mandatory, where people actually have to say that they're alive or dead every 2 days, so the government know where you are, what you're doing, and if you are alive.
It's back at school. It's the registration as you walk in. Yes, miss.
I'm alive. Honestly, you just can't make this up. You can't make it up.
Like anyone, like any of these lot care about any of us. They don't care at all.
No, they're sending everybody. I mean, what have they told now? That's interesting, actually, what they've told veterans, you know, to be on standby for war. And it's interesting because I made a point at the time, back in 2021, when we had the census. It was the first ever time that question had been asked on the census, which is, "Are you a veteran?" So I'm thinking to myself, well, actually, that's why. I always said at the time, they want to know about veterans. And this is why now. So we've got Dad's Army.
So what's this all about then, Debbie? What is this all about, really?
So it's saying that anybody that's basically been worked in the military and is military trained up to the age of 65, they could now be recalled back.
And is this anything to do with the fact that there's a pushback on conscription? Is this anything to do with the fact that nobody wants to fight for a country that you know, that have opened the borders to everyone anyway? So who are you fighting for? What? Because they're not protecting our borders. We're not protecting our country, are we? So
I think it could be a lot to do with that. Yeah.
Who are we fighting and why?
Wow. This is a very good question, because people do not want to fight. They don't want, and you know, we've got the communication networks now. That I was saying to my son last night, I said, you know, I'm trying to put myself now into the position of a mum in World War I or World War II, when you're told that your son's got to go, or your daughter's got to go, or your children have got to go on a train and live with strangers because they're being evacuated. How would I have felt if you know that the war has been planned and engineered and that your son's going to go to get killed? You know, if you were awake back then, basically aware of the agenda back then, how would you feel? Because I know now, I've got 4 sons. They're all 4 strong, healthy, young British men, and they will all get called up. and I don't want any one of them to go, not one of them. So, you know, the position that mums like me and all around the country are going to be in the next however long, we need to think about it, because there's no way that I'm going to let my sons go. And because what happens when our sons and daughters leave this country and go and fight for our country is all of these migrants that have come in will be the blue helmets guarding us, because our lads will be abroad.
Yeah, interesting times. Can I just throw before? I know we've not got long now. We're pretty much out of time, but I wanted to play this video for you. You may have seen it. Did you see the video game at school? That's about if you don't like immigration, you get referred to.
No, I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it.
Let's play that, and then we'll end on something fun.
Okay.
And then we'll because we're kind of out of time. But I want you to have a look at this.
Okay.
And this was on. It was on GB News, actually. I'm only going to be able to play a little bit because it's quite a long video, but let's get it started and then we'll have your reaction.
Because the British government seems desperate to what puts white British kids on the terror prevent programme. I've got full access to their latest propaganda tool that is being rolled out to your children, you and your grandchildren as well, to which appears to be aimed at ensuring they don't become patriotic or question immigration. It's one of the most shocking things I've honestly seen for a while, and rather than tell you about it, I'm going to play it with you right now. Okay, let's go to question number 1, please. So what you'll see here is that Charlie, he's our lovely character here. He's receiving an important grade on his piece of work. If we go to the next one here, next slide. He hasn't done as well. We'll keep going along here a little bit, please. He's got put in a lot of effort, he says. He's put in a lot of effort, like I did at university. Charlie's taking a seat in his class, keep on going. And he's going to get to a point here. Well, he didn't get as well as he expected, all right? He got 60 out of 100 on his results. Next, you'll see there he's a little bit upset about it. And to make matters worse, it looks like somebody of colour got a slightly better result than him, right? And that means this person has allegedly received a job offer. Next, please. And what happens there? Charlie's applied to dozens of jobs, but he hasn't had any luck yet. Okay, next. Right, somebody else in the class tells Charlie that this is proof that immigrants are coming to the UK and taking our jobs, right? Sort of, kind of, we can make the argument that the data does show that cheap labour is undercutting the workforce in Britain. Okay, next. What has happened here? Right, how should Charlie react? Should he ignore the comment and ask the course leader for feedback about how he can improve? Should he ignore the comment but don't address his frustration? Just pent it up, Charlie. That's what you should do. Should he agree with the comment and explore the idea further? Now, I'm going to do everything they don't want you to do on this quiz. Let's click C, shall we? And then next, there we go. All right, oh dear, you see that little bar there? That's gone down. You're in terrorist category there, aren't you? Charlie approached the classmate angrily. He agreed with the ideas and began shouting about them in class. How dare you use your voice, Charlie? How dare you use your democratic right of free speech? Next.
I'll not play it all because you can't hear it anyway. But what it is, it's a game basically. It's educating the children to basically not say anything against any kind of immigration because you get scored down. And obviously what it'll do in the classroom is, like they did in COVID, in a way, it's all that kind of behavioural control that if you say something different to your peers, then you're going to get pointed at. But you're basically going to be called a terrorist, effectively.
It's prevent. I mean, I was trying to read the subtitles because I couldn't hear any of it.
Yeah.
I was reading the subtitles and it's prevent. You know, and they're changing the whole prevent system because the prevent system was basically if your next door neighbour said something offensive to you, you could report your next door neighbour and they'd end up with a call from the police and it would be anonymous. So they've realised that system's not working. So now they're going to guide it towards the children in the form of games. So honestly, it's absolutely shocking. Shocking.
Yes. Let's end on a very positive note and a funny note. You sent me a video. I've not even watched it myself yet, so I'll get a reaction.
I hope I can hear it. But does your doctor's surgery resemble anything like this?
Right, let's play
it. That's really impressive, sir, but I said I wanted to listen to your heart.
Welcome to your local GP surgery. If you arrive early, you will wait. If you arrive on time, you will wait. If you arrive late, well, you should have arrived earlier.
To book an appointment, please call at exactly 8 a.m. If you call at 8:01, you are wasting everyone's time. Alternatively, you can fill in our online form. It takes 45 minutes. At the end, we will ask you to call the surgery anyway. You'll never get bored of your doctor because it's never the same one twice. Collect them all like Pokemon.
My wife has just gone into labour.
Is this her first child?
No, it's her husband.
Relax in our comfortable waiting room. The chairs are designed to worsen your condition, and every magazine is from a different decade.
Our receptionists are not doctors, but they will decide if you need or even get to see one.
Your appointment will be 5 minutes long. The clock starts the second you say hello.
Good news. It's either nothing or everything. We'll start with paracetamol.
Today, the doctor told me I was colourblind. Well, that came completely out of the purple.
Your medication is ready. It just needs approving by someone who is currently on annual leave. If your symptoms persist, please book another appointment. Good luck with that.
Your local GP surgery. We're not here to fix everything, just enough to send you home.
That's fantastic. And let's just say that's from British Brain Rot. So anyone who wants to subscribe to that,
Yeah.
that was excellent. So, well, Debbie, that's another.
I'll tell you one
episode.
one thing before we go. One thing. Trump wants Greenland, doesn't he?
He does want Greenland.
So for anybody watching, just check out Camp Century and
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Operation Iceworm. Just
Very
saying.
interesting.
It is, because it's all about the camps. Remember I said that? It's all about the camps.
Right, then let's leave it there then till next week. Debbie,
Let's do that.
lovely chatting to you again. And thanks for everyone
And
to
you.
joining in. And we'll see you all next week with more craziness because it's going to be the WEF week next week.
Hooray! Trump. Bye, everyone.
Bye.